is Susan Russell, and welcome again to our video about the opening of Cultural Conversations 2012. It's hard to believe this is our 6th season, and this one is the biggest, the most ambitious, and the most heartfelt yet. For those of you that are new to us, Cultural Conversations is the only New Works festival of its kind in the country. We talk about things that nobody talks about. We actually describe what it's like to be people, to be citizens inside the social issues that work very hard to define the culture of this country. This year's festival is dedicated to the theme, Difficult Differences. And to that end, we are talking about race, gender, sexuality, and disability. We have brought together students from the State College Area School District to talk about growing up gay in State College. They have collaborated with Penn State students from the LBGT Resource Center in this year's production of Body Language, which is our program that goes into the middle schools and high schools of our city and uses playwriting and performance to talk about issues of social justice, issues of what it means to be a teenager in our society so driven by media, images, and film and television.
Body language is a core component of Cultural Conversations as a whole. The mission of the festival is to tackle issues of diversity, both locally and globally. Every year she goes into schools and she talks to different students and they write monologues for her. And she takes them and she puts them in the format of a show and adds choreography and music and different things so it flows.
We have dance, we have visual arts that are accompanying this. We have a video compiled by our student Samantha Hatfield. We would be nothing, this festival would be nothing without the students. This festival is run by up to 50 to 70 students every year. That's what makes us so special. I do want to pay tribute to some of the students that without their help I would not have been able to accomplish this year's season. Christy McKeever, my PSM, has been a rock. She has been the foundation by which I have been able to fly around the room in art. Alexa Fox, who has been my PR person that has guided how we have publicized this wonderful event on social media into radio stations, television stations, newspapers. Without these two people, I would not have been able to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish this year. I say again, it may have faculty at the top of the pyramid, but without the students, this festival would not happen.
For a reason I've yet to be able to ascertain, I told her that I thought I was bisexual. There was a second of silence where 100 scenarios played out in my head. Would she be angry, sad, upset? There was a moment where I thought I might lose one of my closest friends. She blinked. Well, she said, a mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work if it is not open.
We began this year's festival with 5 student plays from our advanced playwriting program, and that was a collaboration with our advanced directing program taught by Matt Toronto. It was a match made in heaven.
I was approached by Matt Toronto, who's a professor in the School of Theater, to take an advanced directing course. And part of the class was they were combining with an advanced playwriting class that Susan had been teaching. And they were going to take the 5 plays that the student playwrights were writing in her advanced playwriting class and have the 5 students in the advanced directing class direct them. You're only supposed to have 16 hours of rehearsal. That's not a lot of rehearsal when you're having script changes. So that was hard. That was probably the most difficult part, that, literally we got a changed script the night before. But thankfully I had actors that were ready to roll and they went out and still, did their best.
Everything was too close together. I just wanted to shove it all away, but I could live with it because of you. Because it mattered to you. Because being what you weren't mattered to you.
Kimberly Dark is returning for another wonderful performance event, an event that she has written for us this year. She was with us last year, and she has brought us a piece called Dikeopolis, Queer Tales and Travels of Our Times.
You know, when we get a whole group of people like queers in the U.S. who don't even feel comfortable all the time saying things like I'm going out on a date, or my spouse is ill, or I'm crazy in love. Wow, when that happens, we all lose.
We had the very first LBGT Town Hall event in this city, where I brought together academics and professionals and parents and school administrators and teachers and counselors to talk to audience members and to get feedback about what they think about the way we are talking about LBGT issues here in State College and perhaps even across our country.
If a student came up to a teacher in one of these schools, the whole entire state of Tennessee, and maybe another one, if they said, I think I'm gay, what do I do? Homosexual panic, all this stuff, the teacher can't say anything. They can't talk to that child, they can't advise that child, they can't send that child elsewhere, they can't talk about homosexuality. And it's just frustrating.
So when we can make whatever is normal and look at something and make it abnormal, then we can bully it, we can have violence against it, and we can ridicule. So let's continue to keep these things in mind, and if you are doing these things or have these words in your vocabulary, then you should. Hopefully you think about it very differently tonight. But hopefully there won't be another opportunity to use those terms after a conversation such as this.
This has been the most challenging season ever. We, in talking about some very difficult issues in our local high schools about LBGTA visibility and how issues of gayness are handled within our local school district, we met with some resistance with the school district itself.
There's always been a little bit of pushback because, you know, these are young students that are going up and, you know, saying things and that, you know, maybe their parents have never heard them say before. But this year was especially so. You know, Susan usually goes into like 6 schools. She was only allowed in 1 this year. She actually enlisted help from the LBGT Resource Center on Penn State campus in order to get more students and support the high school students who were going through so much in order to make this possible.
And so we all need to change for them, for their future. If we truly believe each life is important, there is no other choice. I'm begging you, it must change, please. It must change.
By the end of this wonderful time together, they have come solely on board with us. The wonderful Jean Knaus, head of learning enrichment, Sue Marshall Brindle, the head counselor at State High. These are the heroes of body language, because without their help, this would not have happened. And the marvelous Jenny Shipley of the Rainbow Roundtable here at the LBGT Resource Center.
The college kids are totally like, this is me, this is who I am, and you know, you could see like the high school students come in and just kind of relax and be like, you know, like, I'm safe here.
I shouldn't have to be afraid to express my whole self. Love is love regardless, and I don't know how to be more.
Welcome to Cultural Conversations. Welcome to theater that not only asks for change, it makes change. Come on in.